Hello, my fellow workout enthusiasts. My name is Adnan Hyder. I'm the general manager and personal trainer at Indianapolis Healthplex. I hope everyone's doing well today. What we're going to be doing is a functional training compound movement workout designed specifically just for body weight. This is something that will come in handy for most of us who are practicing social distancing and staying home. We can't let our workouts and conditioning our body take a hit. So this will be a great workout for you guys to do at home. And every Wednesday we'll be coming out with more content and progressions and regressions of these types of workouts. So please stay tuned for that. I want to thank the Arthritis Foundation of Los Angeles for collaborating with the club, Indianapolis Healthplex, and doing this service for our members, our family, and the overall community. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'll give you a little background about myself. I've been a personal trainer for about 15 years. I started out with the niche and essentially putting the science behind movement mechanics. And there's so many fads and trends out there, and I think sometimes it's hard to really see what's right for the body versus what looks right but could be wrong down the road. So I've really created a niche by putting the science behind those things, and I really believe in education when it comes to fitness. So with the workouts we're doing today, I'm going to introduce the exercise. I'll speak a little bit about the background and the science behind the movement, and then from there we'll go ahead and execute it and have a great workout. Really quick, can I get a thumbs up if everyone can hear me okay and see me okay? Awesome. All right, we're going to kind of get started here. So the most important part of the workout, believe it or not, is the warm-up. And if you spend a good amount of time warming up, your lifts are going to be much better, your movement mechanics are going to be much better, and your overall form is going to be better. So with that said, the first thing that we're going to do is we'll kind of start out, make sure that you have enough space around you to do these types of movements, but we're going to do a simple breathing exercise. This is called diaphragmatic breathing. And essentially, we're going to start breathing through our stomach. And I know it's not the most flattering thing to do, but at the end of the day, there's a nervous system component involved here. We're bringing ourselves from our sympathetic nervous system to our parasympathetic nervous system, essentially from our fight or flight to our rest and digest. And when you're in your parasympathetic nervous system, you're actually more mobile and your flexibility increases and you're able to perform the movements a lot better. So first thing we'll do is we'll take our fingers and we'll put them underneath our floating rib cage. It's our most bottom rib. And then from there, I just want you guys to go ahead and breathe through your stomach, expanding your diaphragm and back out. Now, if you do this correctly, you'll notice that your fingers are actually pushed out of your rib cage because of the diaphragm expanding. If you're still breathing through your chest, your fingers aren't going anywhere. So for the first minute or so, I just want to practice some diaphragmatic breathing. So if everyone can place their hands there, and let's take some big breaths through our stomach. And as you're doing this, you're trying to stay in tune with your body. Breath work, you're going to be practicing throughout your entire workout. So if you notice you're doing a lot of chest breathing, I recommend that you stop your workout and then you actually practice some diaphragmatic breathing before you end up continuing. Okay? Now with that being complete, the next exercise we're going to do is a dynamic warm-up, and that's going to be a reverse lunge with an overhead stretch. Okay, so essentially I'll give you kind of the front view of me and then also my profile view so you can see my form, and we'll kind of go from there. If you have any questions, please do let me know, okay? So we're going to take our right foot back and essentially bring the center of our gravity down, and as we do this, we're going to bring our hands directly overhead, okay? So as we combine this movement, and we're going to be doing about 7 on each side, it looks a little something like that. So let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Reverse lunge to overhead reach, okay? Shoulder mobility is a very challenging thing to keep throughout the daily stressors of life. So it's always important to kind of get your hands over your head and use one of your most mobile joints, which is your shoulders. Good. Excellent. Let's go ahead and switch up now. We're going to bring our left foot back and do the same movement with both hands going directly overhead. 2, 3, 4, let's get 3 more here, 5, last 2, 6, and 7. Excellent. Now, whether you're in Los Angeles or Indianapolis, it's kind of warm outside, so your heart rate should be going up, body temperature should be going up. We're starting to get warmed up here. Excellent. So hopefully that was okay with everyone. Some of the limitations, like say if you can't go down all the way, stay in your competent movement patterns, okay? Stay in the range of motion that you feel most comfortable with. I think in the past, people thought, no pain, no gain. And we found out now that that's completely incorrect, okay? Sharp pain is your body saying, hey, hold on, stop, there's something going on there. So everyone's unique, and customize these exercises specifically for you. Be the best you, essentially. The next warm-up we're going to do before we jump into the workout is going to be a body weight plank. So let me see here if you guys can see me okay. So I go down into this plank movement. And essentially, we're going to kind of go do a low plank. We'll have our forearms on the ground. And you want to make sure that your entire body is rigid. Okay? And then from there, you want to squeeze that floor together and get the most out of the plank. Looks a little something like this. So that's the form. I'm just giving you a little bit more of that profile view right there. Okay? Head alignment should be looking straight at the ground. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. Okay? We'll do 2 rounds. All right? 3, 2, 1, go. "20 seconds left. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. And again, if that's too challenging for you, you can actually put your knees on the floor and do a plank that way. Almost very close to a assisted push-up. Okay? So we're just go ahead and do one more round here. And as we're doing that, I'm going to read some of the comments here. Excellent. Good. All right. Here we go. Round 2, guys. 30 seconds. We're getting started in 3. Think about your form. 2. Prep yourself. And 1. Go. Good. Really challenge yourself and try squeezing that floor together, like I said. 15 seconds. Put your mind somewhere else. Start thinking about other things if it becomes hard. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. I call planks a desert island exercise. You could take one exercise with you to a desert island. What would it be? I'm bringing the plank. Full body workout if you do it correctly. So at this point, everyone, you should definitely be warmed up. As you can see, that I've had, they're very scared to kind of bulk up. So body weight exercise and increasing instability or increasing complexity become very important at that point. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with some lower body. As you guys know, the most basic and most functional of the compound movements is the squat. Okay? Now, again, same principles here. You want to stick to the range of motion that you feel very comfortable and competent in. If you try to push yourself into a range of motion and your form just goes away completely, you're now putting a fitness component on top of a dysfunctional movement. It's almost like building a really nice house with a shaky foundation. No matter how great the house looks, eventually if that foundation gives, house is gone. In our sense here in fitness, well, we call that an injury. So it's all about getting to your goals and not being set back by injuries. And you can do this with proper form and proper instruction. We're going to go ahead and get started with the squat. I did bring a chair as well. At times we do need to kind of regress ourselves a little bit. But whether you're using a chair, whether you're using a box, etc., definitely use assistance because this can be a very challenging move, especially as you get deeper into that squat. Okay? So we're going to go hands out. And then what we'll do is we'll do a slight hinge through our hips, and I'll give you a better view of this, and then descend down through our feet. Okay? Make sure that your entire foot stays on the floor. If your toes are starting to come up, you need to stop at the point that your toes start coming up. Okay, again, that's a dysfunctional movement pattern, and usually it means that you're lacking mobility in your ankles, which simple foam rolling and stretches can absolutely help with. Okay, so again, what that looks like before we get started again here is we're hands out. The hinge of the hips is what we were talking about. Put your weight behind it, and then descend down directly through your legs and push right through your heels, right back up. Okay, you want to aim for full range of motion if you can. We're going to get started with about 10 reps. We're going to circuit this up with something called a Romanian deadlift, which I'll explain a little bit later. And then we're going to kind of get through it for 2 sets. So we're going to get started. Let's start with 10 reps in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and go. Go at your own pace. 1, 2, good. Feel free to break those movements up, that hip hinge to that drop. And as you get more comfortable with it, start putting it together more fluid-like, okay? If you were one of my clients, you'll remember I always lose count. So we're probably at 7 here. Last 2. 9. And let's give me one more here. One perfect rep. And 10. Good. You know, when I played basketball in high school, my coach would always say, Adnan, leave the gym on a made shot, because you're more likely to repeat that when you come back. I think it's the same way in the gym. Make your last rep the best form that you have, right? You're more likely to repeat that when you come back to it later. All right? So now what I want to do is I want to go into an RDL, a Romanian deadlift. And so essentially what we're going to do, you can do this on one foot, soft bending your knee. Your behind leg is going to kind of stay in the same plane as your back, and you're going to hinge through these hips. Okay? So soft bending the knee, hinge through your hip. Though it looks easy, to do this correctly is probably one of the toughest things to do. And again, I'll just kind of give you my sagittal point of view here. Yeah, I think you get creative with it, with dumbbells, adding weights, adding resistance bands, things of that nature. All right, so again, we're going to get through 7 of these, and then we're going to circuit back for one more set with the squat and the RDL. All right? Any questions at all? All right. Everyone should definitely be warmed up by now. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1. RDL. Excellent. Let's get 7 of those. 2. For those of you who have lower back pain, strong hips is very important to relieve that lower back of any pressure it takes. Good. Let's get 2 more. Excellent. And last one. Wonderful. Good. All right. Everyone should be feeling that in their hips. If you don't, just try to stay focused. Focus on your form. Eventually you will. A lot of my first-time clients will always tell me, hey, I don't feel that there. But you're still establishing that mind-body connection, right? So the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. That's why sometimes it is good to have a trainer with you, because they'll tell you, even though you're not feeling it, you were doing that absolutely correct. Or you're not feeling it because you're doing it wrong. And then make the corrections from there. Let's switch it up. Let's get 7 more reps here. 3, 2, 1, go. 1. Good. 2. Slow and controlled, everybody. 3. We'll get our cardio elsewhere. 4. We got 3 more. 5. And last 2, I just want to show you a slight regression. If you want to grab that chair next to you, feel free to use that as assistance in balancing. Being on one foot is very challenging. And the other thing you guys can do is the same movement with both feet on the ground. Okay? But the key is pushing your hips back to allow for your hips to hinge. Okay? So perfect. Everyone feel comfortable with that? Excellent. So now let's get through one set of a circuit here. We're going to start with body weight squats, and then we're going to go straight to the RDL, okay? We'll give everyone about 15 seconds here to catch their breath, and then we're going to get going. We won't stop until we finish the entire circuit of 2 exercises, okay? We'll give it another 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet are shoulder width apart. Let's get started on our squats. We got 10 in front of us here. 2. Remember, hinge, drop. 3. 4. 5. 6. Last 4. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last rep, nice and deep, and 10. Excellent. All right, quick breather. Think about the form you're going into with the RDLs. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 7 and 7. And feel free to use that chair. It's a very challenging exercise. Good. 3. Excellent. 4. Pay particular attention to my back foot there. 5. You always want your toes pointed in. It's called dorsiflexion. Last one on this side. Excellent. Good. And let's switch. 3, 2, 1, go. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Last 2. Let's make them perfect now. 6. 1 more rep. 7. Excellent. Kudos to all you guys if you were able to accomplish that movement. Most people do need some assistance to get started. It's very challenging in terms of balance and strength. So very well done there. Let's take a quick breather here. It's important, that we do warm up with the muscle groups that we're going to be using in that workout. So a lot of people ask me, why do we warm up the way that we do? Nowadays, with the thing with fitness is it's always evolving. There's so much knowledge and education and research that's being conducted. Things that we thought were correct in the past 10 years ago have now been proven to not be correct. And other modalities or methods have substituted in. So our warm-up will always cater to whatever workout we're doing for that day. Dynamic warm-ups in the beginning and then static stretches at the end. It's very important. Give you an example. 10 years ago, everybody was doing static stretches at the beginning of their workout, right? They still do it. If you go, well, no one's really going to the gym now, but once everything reopens, if you go to the gym and you take a look at it, you're going to be pretty surprised by what you see. Why would we, if our muscles operate on elastic principles, why would we want to bring that elasticity to its max right from the start, right? If it was a rubber band, right, we would risk tearing it if it was cold, right? So we've now found that dynamic warm-ups, bringing that elasticity through movement, is correct to start. They cater to our workout, and then at the end, we do the static stretches. Because at that point, our muscles are completely warm, all right? There's no risk of tearing or any type of damage going on with muscle fascia, etc. All right, so that's just a little bit of background while everybody's resting here. I hope you're catching your breath. I hope some of you are actually doing diaphragmatic breathing. Bonus points, obviously. All right, so we've got our warm-up, we've got our lower body down, we're halfway through. Upper body would be next, okay? So, again, we're going to start out pretty fundamental here, and then every Wednesday, we're going to kind of progress and get a little bit more challenging. So I encourage you guys to really tune in every Wednesday and start from the beginning to the end. Also, on the Indianapolis Healthplex Instagram, Facebook, website, we'll be posting these videos so you can watch them later as well. But feel free to utilize them in the comfort of your home. I think it'll be a great thing to get us through this period. So when it comes to upper body, we're sticking with compound movements, we're sticking with functional movements, right? So we're going to start with a simple, yet effective, yet another desert island exercise would be the body weight push-up, okay? Now, you can progress this push-up in many different ways. You can take one foot off the ground, you can bring your hands closer together, people call them diamond push-ups, go wide out. Have a staggered stance with your hands. There's many different ways to progress this exercise. Today, for all intents and purposes, I'm really just going to show the body weight push-up, and I'll show a slight progression, and then we'll kind of stick with just the normal push-up to start. But feel free to challenge yourselves. And then on the other end, sometimes body weight push-ups are very hard. So you can either incline yourself. So if my body was my hand and this was the angle that I would be at an incline, Or we can drop our knees and have them and use our knees almost as assistance through the strength portion of that push-up. Okay, so whatever works best for you, do what's right. Okay, and again, stay away from that pain. Make sure you're getting a lot of rest and focus on form. All right, first thing we're going to do is kind of just use our mat. We're going to get right here. Hands are going to be about shoulder width apart, and same with our feet. You can go feet close together or feet wide apart. For our purposes, we will go wide apart. And we're going to go ahead and hit 7 of these push-ups, and then kind of throw in something called active recovery, which we'll explain later. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm sure many of you guys know how to do this already. So focus on that form. And guess what? The rest of our body is doing a plank. So take all those principles we talked about in the plank and apply them to your push-up, okay? So we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you guys want to get fancy with it, the progression would be push up, again, increasing complexity and going into a bird dog. Let me scoot up here a little bit, just like so. So it looked like here, boom, boom, for 1 rep. All right, let's rest it up a little bit before we get into one more set of these for 10 reps. We'll get started in 5 seconds. 4. Any questions so far before we get started? 3, 2, and 1. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you as well. Here we go, 10 reps. Again, you can put your knees down. You can be on an incline. Do whatever works. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Excellent job. Obviously, in this exercise, we're trying to focus on our chest, our pecs, as well as the secondary muscle being our triceps. Very good. All right. So next exercise we're going to do, we get close to the end here, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well and staying hydrated. We're going to use the chair to do an exercise called dips. All right. Now, many of you have seen this before. You're probably wondering how we're going to do it at home. Essentially, we'll use that chair as a platform, right? So hand positioning, I've seen this go many ways. Best thing I'll say to you is just kind of keep your joints aligned. And if you feel pain, especially in a joint, probably doing something wrong. Okay, so stay away from that and stay comfortable in your range of motion. We're going to go feet out for this exercise on the dips. But if you have to, bring your feet in. That'll give you a little help, okay? So one complete rep would be here, down, 90 degrees at the elbows, and right back up. All right? So let's go ahead and hit 7 of these. 3, 2, 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's rest. Now, many of you should be feeling that in your triceps, right? Notice how our secondary muscle in the last exercise became our primary muscle on this exercise, right? So there's a certain way to order your exercises as well, but I'm sure we can get into that a lot more in the coming weeks. Let's take 5 seconds. You guys got me tired. 4, 3. Think about the form. 2, start mentally preparing yourself. Let's get those last 7 reps in, all right? Perfection. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well done. Good. Come back and rest. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are like 90% of the way there. All right. So well done. So again, just a quick recap. Started with our warm-up. Focus on diaphragmatic breathing. And then we did a dynamic warm-up with the muscles that we're going to be using in the workout, right? Jump into lower body. Biggest muscles, lower body. Start there. We go ahead and start with squats. Then we go into something called an RDL, Romanian deadlift. And then right after that, we're into upper body, push-ups, and what we did just now is dips. Okay? And that's all it takes, guys. 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. I know a lot of people think you got to go to the gym for 2 hours. Personally, I work out maybe 4 or 5 days a week, and I probably do about 30 to 40 minutes. Being a general manager, I think I have more conversations up there sometimes than I do lifting weights, but that's part of the job. But if you're close to Indianapolis, definitely come check us out. I'd love to take you through the gym and show you one of these workouts in person. So the last thing we're going to do is our cool down, of course. Very important as well. And you should probably do it while your body is warm. We're going to do our static stretches. Again, anything that has static in its name means there's no movement involved. Anything with dynamic means movement-based. So we want to have some type of order to our stretches to ensure that we hit all of the muscle groups. Because you have one side of the muscle very flexible, and then maybe the other part of the muscle is not. It could lead to an injury as well. In the same way an imbalance in strength could do that. It's true with flexibility. So let's go ahead and get started with our most basic stretch, which is our hamstring stretch. We'll go feet together, all right? Soft bend in the knees, and let's go ahead and just try to reach our toes. For all of you who have desk jobs, your hips are probably really tight. I would definitely utilize this stretch. Let's go 10 seconds. I usually stick to about 10 seconds per muscle group. Good. Another fundamental of stretching is you got to get to a point where you can relax with the stretch. If you're fighting the stretch, it's not going to increase your flexibility. So push it to the point that you can relax and then start breathing. Okay? If you can maintain steady breath through the stretch, you're probably at a good point. But I can't tell you how many times I see people cringing and making their ugly faces while they stretch, and it's probably not the best thing to do. Quads, again, please use assistance for this, especially if you're tired at this point. We're just going to go ahead and do this basic flamingo type of stretch, trying to bring our heels all the way to our glutes. Good. And again, 10 seconds is all it takes. But you do it repeatedly every day, it's going to make a difference. Excellent. Let's switch it up. 10 seconds here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So we just hit the hamstring, hit the quads. It's time to go to the calves, right? So the runner stretch for calves is my go-to. Essentially, you push up against the wall. I hope everyone can see my feet here. But essentially, I'm in a staggered stance. And I'm trying to push my heel to the floor as I lean and lunge forward. Again, we'll hold that for 10 seconds before we switch. So I have one foot in front of the other, almost like I'm doing that reverse lunge. And I'm really just pushing that heel down and leaning forward. Excellent. 3, 2, 1. A couple more stretches before we're done for the day. Let's hit the upper body. We're going to go into a chest stretch, and then from there we'll probably go into shoulders and triceps, okay? So for the let me see if I could move this around a little bit. All right. Probably work best. Hopefully everyone can still see me here. All right. So if you could just find a corner, just like so. They use this in physical therapy offices a lot, a corner stretch, where essentially you want your elbows, your shoulders at 90 degrees from your body, and you're just going to kind of lean into that corner, which is essentially going to push your hands back and open that chest up, okay? So again, if the camera was in the corner, it'd look a little something like this. Mr. Reich, I know you've done a lot of these with me, so excellent. Let's make sure we get that in for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. So from here, let's do a quick finisher. We're going into the shoulder stretch. So just make your hand rigid. Your elbow should be at 180 degrees. Without rotating your torso, go ahead and bring that arm across your body. Use the other hand. And basically I'm holding right underneath that elbow and start pulling it in without rotating your body. So none of this, right? You're not really doing much there. So make sure you're squared up, push that in, and you should feel that stretch through the entire delt. Good. 3, 2, 1. Let's switch it up, everybody. Same thing, different side. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent, good. Let's get that last one in. As I kind of walk back over here to my start position, we're going to hit the triceps to finish it off. Hand goes up, bend at the elbow, grab the elbow from the top and start pulling back, okay? And again, none of this, right? Don't compensate, because compensate leads to injuries. Just kind of keep your torso rigid and push back on that elbow, right? And again, don't fight it. You got to get to the point where you can relax with it. I promise you that's how you'll see results in your flexibility. Let's switch it up. Another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set, circuit, workout. I hope everybody had a great time. I hope you guys learned a lot. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday. So please put it in your calendars. Just like we would do anything else, right? We calendar it. We make sure that we create boundaries, and then we stick to what we commit to. Why don't we do that with our workouts? So I've worked with a lot of professional clients, and time was their most limited resource. And to do this, we had to create some lifestyle changes, some behavioral changes to make sure they're committed to their workout. All right? And if you're on this, you probably are committed to your workout. But I hope everybody had a good time. I want to thank the Arthritis Foundation Los Angeles for collaborating with myself and the Indianapolis Healthplex. You guys are doing some amazing work. For everybody who's on here, please definitely check out their website, walktocurearthritis.org/Los Angeles. Get active, get committed. There should be a lot of resources there to help you. And also check out our website, theindianapolishealthplex.com. I mean, we do a lot of great things here. And we're very big into creating customized 4 to 6 week workout programs that not only help our clients get to their goals, but they also correct any type of limitation that they have, essentially to prevent any type of injury down the road. Whatever your goals are, if you're a professional athlete, or if you're in the general population and you just want to be active for your grandchildren, there's definitely a right workout for you. And I promise you, if you come to our club, the Indianapolis Healthplex, ask for me, Adnan Hyder, we'll definitely set you up the right way. Okay? Well, thanks again. I look forward to seeing everybody next week. You've probably done more than most people have this week. Well done. Have a good one, everyone.